What if I told you that one of the biggest reasons Master Shifu became the wise Kung Fu master we know today was because of the worst father imaginable? Before Shifu trained Tai Lung, before he mentored Po, before he became Oogway's greatest student, he was just a lonely cub abandoned by his own father. Today, we're exploring the complete life story of Shirong, one of the most fascinating minor characters in Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness. Shirong only appeared in one episode, but his past reveals why Shifu became the master we know today. Let's begin. Early life. Shirong was a red panda who lived by his wits rather than his honor. Instead of becoming an honest merchant or a kung fu master, he chose a life of deception. He mastered the art of tricking people into giving him money and valuables through clever scams. Despite his dishonest lifestyle, Shirong wasn't completely helpless in combat. He knew enough kung fu to defend himself when necessary, often combining martial arts with quick thinking and clever tricks instead of relying on brute strength. Raising young Shifu. Years later, Shirong had a son named Shifu. Rather than giving his child a normal upbringing, Shirong recruited young Shifu into his scams. Together they traveled from village to village selling fake healing talismans. Young Shifu would carefully paint the talismans to make them appear ancient and valuable. Once customers discovered the truth, the father and son would disappear before anyone could catch them. Although Shirong taught Shifu some kung fu skills, he also taught him that lying and trickery were the easiest ways to survive. These lessons would leave a lasting mark on Shifu's childhood. The greatest betrayal. One day, Shirong arrived at the Jade Palace with his young son. He told Shifu to wait just a few minutes while he took care of some business. Shifu waited. Minutes became hours. Hours became the entire day. Then night fell, but Shirong never came back. The little red panda had been abandoned. Eventually, Grand Master Oogway discovered the lonely child sitting outside the Jade Palace. Instead of sending him away, Oogway welcomed him into the palace and began training him in Kung Fu. That single act completely changed Shifu's future. Shifu becomes a master. As the years passed, Shifu became one of Oogway's greatest students. He devoted himself to discipline, honor, and responsibility, the exact opposite of everything his father had taught him. For a while, it seemed Shirong had disappeared forever. But that wasn't the end of the story. Roughly 10 years after abandoning his son, Shirong suddenly returned. Claiming to have found a valuable golden sword, he traded it to Shifu for supplies and food. Later, Shifu discovered the truth. The golden sword wasn't gold at all. It was simply painted wood. Even after years apart, Shirong was still trying to con his own son. From that moment on, Shifu decided he would never trust his father again. Father crime. Many years later, during the events of Legends of Awesomeness, Shirong unexpectedly crossed paths with Po and Tigress. The two heroes found him being threatened by the Croc bandits. After defeating the Crocs, Po believed Shirong was simply a harmless old traveler. When Shirong revealed he was actually Master Shifu's father, Po was thrilled. He imagined a happy family reunion. Shifu, however, reacted very differently. The moment he saw Shirong, he immediately assumed his father was planning another scam. And based on his past experiences, he had every reason to think so. One more con. Unfortunately, Shifu's suspicions proved correct. Shirong had indeed returned with another elaborate scheme. He manipulated Po and others while searching for valuable treasure, using lies and fake stories to stay one step ahead. Even though he occasionally showed hints that he cared about his son, greed always seemed to come first. Throughout the adventure, Shirong constantly twisted situations to benefit himself. His quick thinking and talent for deception made him surprisingly difficult to outsmart. But eventually, his lies unraveled. Po and Shifu worked together to stop the con before innocent people were harmed. Although Shirong escaped serious consequences, he once again left without truly repairing his relationship with Shifu. Personality. Shirong is charming, funny, clever, and incredibly persuasive. He can convince almost anyone to believe his stories. But beneath that charm lies a lifelong habit of dishonesty. Unlike most Kung Fu Panda villains who seek power through strength, Shirong relies almost entirely on manipulation. He's living proof that words can sometimes be just as dangerous as fists. Even in old age, he remained one of the franchise's most talented con artists. Relationship with Shifu. Perhaps the saddest part of Shirong's story is his relationship with his son. Shifu spent his entire life trying to become everything his father wasn't. He became honorable, responsible, disciplined, and devoted to protecting others. Ironically, Shirong's failures helped create one of Kung Fu's greatest masters. Without abandoning Shifu, Oogway may never have adopted him into the Jade Palace. That means Shifu might never have trained Tai Lung, never have mentored the Furious Five, and perhaps never would have trained Po to become the Dragon Warrior. In a strange way, Shirong's worst decision ended up changing the fate of all China. Legacy. Although Shirong only appeared in a single episode, he remains one of the most memorable side characters in Legends of Awesomeness. He gave fans a rare glimpse into Shifu's painful childhood and explained why trust and responsibility became such important values in Shifu's life. His story reminds us that heroes aren't always shaped by great parents. Sometimes, they're shaped by overcoming terrible ones. So that's the complete life story of Shirong, the con artist who became the father of Master Shifu. Do you think Shirong truly cared about his son deep down, or was he only interested in helping himself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Kung Fu Panda character stories, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Also, get me to 1K subscribers, so I can do a face reveal soon.